So for today's tip, I'm going to go over a tip I don't think I've really talked about before. This one's going to be a very specific, kind of obscure one. But basically, I wanted to show you guys how you can find pages on your website that are indexed but just aren't receiving any traffic at all. You can do this in Google Search Console. I feel like Screaming Frog is usually the better option. It'll usually give you more data to work with, and will probably be a little bit more user friendly to find this data. So usually with these, I'm not talking about pages that are showing up as like 0 clicks, like 300 impressions. Like those are usually what I consider to be zombie pages, like what I would classify as zombie pages. These are specifically going to be pages that literally don't have any clicks, don't have any impressions, basically don't have any data at all. They're going to show up as blank. So you can see here, this is my website. So I pulled this data from Screaming Frog, and we have some of these pages down here that have some impression data showing up as 17 impressions, 0 clicks. But when we come down here, we have these blank sections, which a few of my URLs are falling into. In this case, it's interesting because some these URLs are usually going to be indexable, but for whatever reason, they're not getting any traction whatsoever. So in this case, I usually find that it can come down for two reasons. Either Google moved those pages into crawl, discover, currently not indexed. They were either indexed before Google removed it from the index, or these pages are indexed, but they're just not getting any. Google just really doesn't really know what to do with it. They're not relevant to anything, and for that reason, they're included within the index, but they're not being shown for anything. So with these, of course, you want to take a look at the URLs that have little impressions. Usually these are going to be pages that either, if it's a case like a case study, pagination, like contact page, like you don't want to get rid of that. But if it's actual blog content and it should be getting impressions, then that's something that you're going to want to take a look at. And especially in the case like this, let me move my video over here. Some of these guys are going to be case studies, so again, don't really care to have impressions showing up for them. But in the case like this, where it's like lead generation for SaaS, HR Tech SEO, I have an article on best B2B SEO consultants. If you know, you know. Sometimes, like I said, these are either going to be indexable pages that fell into Google's crawled currently not indexed or discovered currently not indexed. I recommend checking there, or at least taking your URLs from the spreadsheet and plugging them into Google Search Console to see what they're showing up as. But in other cases, like I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive this URL is actually indexed. Google is indexing it, but it doesn't have any data that's showing up for it. So in that case, to me, that's telling me that's an issue with the actual quality of the content. Either it's not relevant to the query, I'm not answering the search intent, I need to improve the content, whatever it is, you can basically boil it down to content quality. It's a broad category. I guess putting it into simple terms, you just need to update this page. So just to give you an idea of how I got here and how I got this spreadsheet, like I said, I use Screaming Frog for this, and it's very easy to set up. All you're going to want to do is connect the Google Search Console API. You're going to want to hit the settings bar. I guess it won't show me here, but I guess I'll clear this. My computer's being a little funky. Okay, I guess it doesn't want me to leave. Okay, there we go. So if I clear this and then come here, so instead of doing the last 12 months, I mean, you can do the last 12 months, but I find you're not going to get as many as those blank URLs. It's not going to be as current. So if the page was first published, maybe it got some impressions in the start and then then eventually fell off. But when you look at the last 12 months, you're still going to see those first impressions when that page went live. So if you do the last 30 days, you can see more current data where that page is currently ranking. And then that will give you an idea of the pages that are indexed, but just really we're not getting any traction from them whatsoever. And then once you have that, once that's ran, I mean, obviously I just cleared that, but you can find this in the Search Console tab in Screaming Frog. And then when you have your data here, everything's finished, you can just export it to a spreadsheet. Very easy. Like I said, it's just a way to find URLs that should be getting traffic, but just aren't for whatever reason. And Once we have those, we just need to figure out what we need to do to get more traffic for those pages.